Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Governor Andy Beshear declares a state of emergency due to reports of price gouging here in the Commonwealth. And a couple of laws meant to improve Kentucky mental health care become law.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Keaton Hall. The time is 4:59. Happy Friday. Let's throw it over to Brandon Robinson for our first look of the day at the weather.
I was telling Kirsten, our morning producer, earlier, Keaton, that this has been the longest short week ever. Because I only worked 3 days this week, but I felt like I've just ran and rushed all the way through. But thankfully today, much quieter than yesterday. No fog, at least that we've seen so far this morning, and cooler temperatures. Let's take a look at those there on the map this morning, and you'll see a lot of 60s out there. Not even any 70s anymore. We had 70 at Jackson before the newscast started, but 50s and 60s this morning, and only a couple of 50s out there. 56 Clintwood, 59 Jonesville, and like we said on the other end, Jackson's the warmest spot in the region at 67. A lot of low to mid 60s out there this morning, so keep that in mind. Dew points a little bit lower, still on the kind of sticky category out there. It's not air you can wear yet, but it will be a little bit later today as temperatures start off in the 60s and head toward the 90-degree mark yesterday. 90-degree mark today. Yesterday, we made it to 90 at the Hazard Airport, but we got into the upper 80s like I talked about there. Since we didn't have too many clouds yesterday morning, won't be the same situation today, so I'd say we'll hit 90 again this afternoon. Keaton?
Thank you, Brandon. Governor Andy Beshear declared a state of emergency yesterday against price gouging. The executive order activates state price gouging laws to protect families from overly high gas prices. Governor Beshear says it's a step that needed to be taken.
So today, I'm taking this action because I believe strongly that even minimal relief is better than no relief.
AAA reported an average high of $4.73 per gallon on June 20th. 2 laws on mental health will soon take effect. One expands something called Tim's Law, which was named after a Lexington man. It allows courts to order outpatient mental health treatment. Governor Beshear also formally signed a law to help first responders get mental health treatment. He specifically mentioned crews who work in Mayfield last December. The laws take effect on July 15th. What makes fentanyl so dangerous? Health officials are putting a lot of the blame on fentanyl for the escalation of overdoses. The Kentucky Office of Drug Control Policy says the drug was responsible for 73% of overdoses in the state of Kentucky. Brightview Health Vice President of Clinical Services in Kentucky, Rhonda Roper, says it's dangerous no matter the amount.
There is such a high overdose potential. So I'm not really aware of a set amount. Just any of it can be deadly to anyone.
Health officials recommend not using hand sanitizer if you come into contact with fentanyl because it can absorb the powder. Officials say to wash your hands with soap to avoid the toxic effects. Say goodbye to carrying around a backpack if you attend Knox County Public Schools. The school district approved every school to have a no backpack policy moving forward the next school year. Students will leave items in their locker and have time to get it between classes. This was implemented along with metal detectors in an effort to keep students and staff safe.
At Knox Middle, during the first couple of years, looking at how the policy's working and what the feedback was, most students was taking home books and notebooks and things that they really didn't use at home.
The school board says each school is very good about assigning very little homework, so it's less the student has to backpack back and forth. Excuse me. The Knox County School District is also purchasing school supplies for the upcoming school year. The district is using its elementary and secondary school emergency relief funds to fund teachers and classrooms with school supplies for every student. Knox County did this last year and wanted to help parents out again this year.
One of the things that we decided to do with that federal funds is to sort of, in a way, give it back to families. School supplies is one thing that families all go out and purchase, and it's one of the things that cost a lot, especially up front in August.
The school district will supply all school supplies needs throughout the entire school year. Kentucky's 2022 Teacher of the Year says he's leaving the K-12 classroom. The Herald Leader reports after 17 years of being a public school teacher, Willie Carver Jr. is leaving the classroom to work at UK in student support services. In a Facebook post, he said, as a gay man in K-12 education, he's been unable to do that work without facing discrimination, heartache, and being a part of a systems that cause harm. Carver said he had been unable to find support from his school administration. Montgomery County school officials didn't immediately respond. The Kentucky Department of Agriculture recently announced more funding for a farmers market nutrition program. The department announced a $25,000 increase to the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program. Along with the senior program, people can use SNAP or EBT as well as WIC. But Johnson County UK Ag Extension Agent Brian Jeffiers says it's all about teaching folks ways to be a bit healthier with fresh local fruits and veggies.
It's all built around encouraging folks to come to the farmers market, buy local, buy fresh foods, learn how to prepare them properly and make some things that are a little bit better to eat than all the processed stuff that we get stuck eating sometimes.
Officials say this will also save people money due to the recent increase in grocery costs, eliminating transportation and resulting in fewer price hikes and even fresher food. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up next, a new study shows that the phrase worried sick has some truth to it. We'll have those details in just a few minutes.
Mercury keeps climbing today, but is a cool down coming? I'll have the answer and the weekend forecast in about 3 minutes.